Dude, sick blazer. Yo, what up? Scotty, Evil Castrigal here. We got another motorcycle we're riding today. This is another new Honda, all new for this year. So you probably can tell what it is. It's CBR650. Let's get into it. So this bike's kind of rare for this middleweight, sort of sport, sort of standard motorcycle class. It is an inline 4. It makes a little more horsepower, actually quite a bit more horsepower than the other 600s or 500s in this class, because it is an inline 4. But what's new for the 2024 model year, 2025-ish model year, it came out kind of late, is this electronic clutch. So the E-clutch, the way this thing works, this motorcycle basically will act like a semi-automatic motorcycle, kind of like your CRF50s or even your Honda Mini Motos that do not have a clutch lever. You can shift this motorcycle, you can come to a stop without ever using the clutch, and it also allows the motorcycle to act as if it has a quick shifter installed. So no clutch on upshifts or downshifts. So you kind of get a sporty feel, but if you want to use the clutch, you do have a lever up here that you are able to use. Right now, you can see the tension is right. One thing I want to point out, we're going to start the motorcycle and talk about before we even get on the road. All right, hey guys, so now we're in the saddle of the CBR650R, and I want to show you how this clutch works because it is way different than anything you've probably seen before, but it's really cool. I'm going to start the motorcycle. So right now we are in neutral, and you'll notice that there's a lot of play in this clutch lever. If we bring the camera on in, there's a lot of play. That's actually totally normal. So I'm going to click it down into gear. I'm not going to touch the clutch. We are in first gear now, and you can see without touching the clutch, I can creep forward, and we have that play. But what I want to show you is, say I want to use the clutch. So see, I just pulled it in, and now we've stalled it. So all you have to do is once you activate that clutch, you notice now there is play. And I'm using it just like a regular clutch, back to neutral, and it goes back to having play again. So you might get on the motorcycle and you think, oh wow, I've got to tighten this clutch up, but you do not need to do that. In fact, that comes directly from Honda. I just wanted to display that and show you how it works. Now let's get it out on the road and talk a little more about it. Dude, sick blazer. Good Lord. What is going on? In hell. Talk about your all-time backfires. Well, hey, what's up, everybody? We're out here on the CB650R sitting in traffic, but you know what we're not doing? We're not using the clutch lever. Yeah, I've been riding it for, about 10 minutes, and it's taken some getting used to. I keep wanting to grab that clutch lever, and obviously, you know, you don't have to. So it's been a little weird, but I have to say so far I've enjoyed the motorcycle. I had it up on the freeway. It's a little bizarre not riding sport bikes all that often to get up there and then you're in sixth gear and the bike's, you know, doing $6,500 or so. I've got to get over this maneuver I'm getting ready to pull. Don't do that at home. Excellent handling motorcycle, that's for sure. Oh, what in the wide world of sports? They got us blocked off here, man. What's going on? Really? Well, I guess we're going a different way here. So I guess one thing I'm noticing as somebody who is an avid motorcyclist or who rides all the time, I like to modulate the power with the clutch. And if you don't use the clutch, especially when you're in those low speed situations like I was just in and all that traffic, it can feel a little like notchy and jumpy. So I would probably use the clutch in that regard. And I don't think that it would switch it into manual mode or into full clutch mode if you would do that. It seemed like it had not grabbed the clutch a couple times. But you know, now that I say that, I've got no play in the clutch, so I'm guessing it now is. So I grabbed the clutch, and now we are in full manual mode. So I won't be able to come to a stop, I wouldn't think, without pulling the clutch in. Or it would stall, like I showed at the beginning of the video. So we're up on the freeway. I have to say the bike's pretty comfortable. You know, as far as sport bikes goes, this is a little more comfortable, and that's on purpose. It's by design. This is like almost a standard motorcycle, comfort-wise, but it's got the looks of a full sport bike, which is cool. I appreciate that, because if you've watched this channel at all, you know I'm not like the biggest fan of that super aggressive seating position. Not that it isn't awesome for going fast, but it's not awesome for long-term comfortability, if that is a word. Or for someone who's had multiple injuries, like myself. I just tends to make my neck hurt a little bit, especially after a long period of time. So, not the biggest fan, but not too bad on this motorcycle. So I guess in conclusion, for me, well, let's not jump to conclusions. Let's talk a little more. I guess for me, I would probably. To me, this isn't really needed. It doesn't feel like a huge benefit for me. I would just rather have the quick shifter, which it works like a quick shifter. You can totally shift this bike under power. You do not need to let up the throttle or grab the clutch to change the gears, which is awesome. If you've ridden a bike with a quick shifter, you would know how awesome that is. But do I think the semi-automatic, non-semi-automatic e-clutch thing, is it for me? No, I don't think it's for me. But I don't think they made it for me. I think if you're somebody who maybe you're like, ooh, I don't know if I want something like that yet, but you might think you want it in the future. You know, in the future you might think, oh, maybe I do want, I want to use that clutch. Then I think it's great. It definitely probably is a little more confidence inspiring for a new rider, because for me, I don't feel like stalling the motorcycle is that big of a deal, but I could definitely see for somebody that's new, that's just learning all of these mechanics, there's a lot of hand-eye coordination and different mechanics that you have to learn when riding a motorcycle, and I know it can be mentally taxing for people sometimes, and that's totally understandable. It probably would take that step out of it, right? You're not having to think about that. For me, it's just at low speeds, it just feels a little herky-jerky. It's not quite what I prefer, and I do like to modulate the power, like I said, with the clutch, especially in coming out of a corner and stuff like that. To me, it just smooths it out a little bit, so that kind of takes it away for me, but I totally get what they were coming at this with, and I think it's cool. It's a cool piece of tech. I think it's going to take some getting used to, though. But I will say, the Honda 650 engine, the inline 4, I think for its class, this is my favorite. I love this motorcycle. You get all that like full inline 4 sport bike feeling and sound out of this motorcycle. It's just a little lower price, which I think is cool. And the horsepower, while is decent, here's the number. It's not really that threatening when you compare it to bigger bikes like a GSX-R 750. And it's way more comfortable. Alright, so we're going to be coming up here to a little stoplight situation, and this will be interesting to see, since I've been modulating the power with the clutch somewhat, what mode we're in as we come to the stop up here. I have a feeling it's going to automatically go back to the semi-auto. I know at low speed, it won't. You actually can trick it and stall the motorcycle. So we're going to see. We're just going to kind of downshift through the gears here. I'm not going to use the clutch at all as we do so. And we'll see what ends up happening here. 3, 2, 1. We're down in first. We're coming to a stop. And we did not stall. Now, and you see we've got that playback. Now I can feel it grab. I pulled it in and I pushed down. And we do have a full manual now. So the bike would stall if I let it. Now, if I go back to shifting without it, we should be back in semi-auto mode. So basically, it's just if you if you don't use it, you've got the semi-auto, right? If you don't use the clutch, it's good. If you do use the clutch, once you are stopped, you will go back into a full clutch mode. So if you don't want to use the clutch, don't touch it. Don't breathe on it. Don't even look at that clutch lever unless you want to use it. It is nice to have if you want it, you know. I don't know. Maybe it's growing on me a little bit. I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about this thing. Is it an afterthought? Did Honda just kind of throw it on here? Is it odd? Is it cool? I don't care what you think. I want to know. So let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, guys. It's been Scotty with Evil Castrigal, and I will check you later.